playing around. They tried to overlook me cause I wasn't in the in crowd. Well, I'm back at it, so you know what's going down. And I'm all up in their face, so they got.
Oh, where did he go, Tony? Come on back in here. There we go.
Yo, what's good? Sorry, I don't know what happened. My internet just was like, nah, bro. And then now I'm fee. I'm fee actually, so you see that there.
Oh, yeah, you are Fee. Yeah, you came in after, so you got her name.
What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing? It is a 5-star Friday, and I gotta say, thank goodness it's Friday for one, because God, the work week, right? I mean, come on. Why can't we just get on a 4-3 or something, right? Like whoever come up with this concept of like it's mandatory to put in 5 days and be off 2. Like, can we rethink that maybe a little bit? I don't know.
That sounds right. I do not believe doing 2 days is acceptable at all.
You know,
I've been working 7 days a week for like 6 years. I'm just not trying to get down to like 6 days a week.
Fish, but I understand that.
But you're your own boss.
You're your own boss.
It don't help.
So here's the thing. We still got to be on our creative journey and our art journey and do all that stuff on top of our work week too. We get it. We're not, it's all good. Anyway, and thank goodness it's a 5-star Friday. And thank goodness it's a 5-star Friday where the whole gang can be here. Look, everybody, the prodigal daughter has returned.
Funny. Y'all are hilarious.
She has been off on her journey and she finally returned home to where we just all loved and missed her. And here she is. Fee's back, everybody. So if you're watching, give it a little yay, Fee's back.
Oh my God.
Yay. And we also have a super dope guest, DM Ray Jameson. That's the first time I've seen that name because I'm used to the DM Ray. What's up, Ray? How you doing, man?
I'm having a good time. Definitely enjoying the weekend, like you said. I used to work for a place where instead of working 5/8, we worked 4/10. So every weekend was 3 days, which is super nice.
I like that.
There was and in that same company, there was another shift that worked 3/12s. It was all weekend, mind you, but you had Monday to Thursday off, and you got 40 hours pay because you were paying. Your free time was not in sync with everybody else, so they compensated extra 4 hours pay, which is really cool. But all in all, I've been on this marathon all month about issue 2 of the Mad Caps with this Kickstarter, and I think I've just surpassed podcast number 50 yesterday.
Wow!
From mid-January until the start of May, I think I just passed 55. The last time I counted, so nice. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm very much an introvert, so I just like talking to people and seeing new faces and stuff. Yeah. So I'm super happy you guys had me on.
Man, my guy's been on like the full-on tour. I like that. Mm-hmm. He's been touring around.
You're touring right now.
People, he's on tour. I bet when the Kickstarter's over and you're off tour, it's gonna be nice to kind of just take that breath and enjoy slowing down.
Let's just say I'll sleep very well the first couple nights.
He's gonna like lock himself in for like the next.
That's my thing. I crash after every one, and nobody hears from me for like 2 weeks while I'm just like trying to catch up with stuff and refuel, waiting on that money to get released from Kickstarter.
Yeah, for sure.
Kickstarter has it in a chokehold.
Right. Yep. It's got it on delay.
Fish, are you able to pull up his current Kickstarter?
As a matter of fact, I can.
Hey,
there it is.
Mad Caps.
All right, so
there we are.
Ray, even though you've been on 54 other podcasts,
we're not going to take that personally.
Let's pretend that the people that might be watching the show, they've never heard of you. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know what you got going on. So take some time to. For one, explain tell them who you are and what is this that we're looking at and what's the what. Give us the details.
I've got a good segue for you. How about you play the trailer first, because that's a good setup.
There we go. We can do that.
It's less than a minute.
Can y'all hear it?
No.
Okay. Hold on. Well, then we're not
Let me see if I can.
I cannot fix that on my end for whatever reason. I've not been able to figure out.
Yeah, let me see. Put the link in the private chat so I can put it up. I can see I can pull it up real quick.
Fee usually is the puller upper.
That I don't even know what that means. So thank you.
The puller upper of stuff.
Cool.
It's your job description.
Right? Like I was
title.
like, can you imagine that in like a job interview? So
A resume.
Yeah.
A job picker up.
Polar upper.
Polar upper, actually.
Polar upper. I pull up links and show them.
Yep.
Hashtag polar upper.
Very
Upper,
well
man.
versed in my field.
She is one of the best. One of the best.
All right, I messaged it to you personally, Fee, because I can't even find the freaking.
Chat. I could have just popped
I can't find it on here because they keep moving everything, and I don't know where they put it.
Oh gosh! All right, let me pull it up. There we go.
Hey,
I hate
an awful lot for being as old as I am. I do an awful lot.
Get with the times, Fisher.
Fish, you think it's bad now? Wait till you get to my age.
How old are you?
I was born in the Orwellian year of 1984.
See, I got you beat by. I was 75, so that's what 9 years.
9 years. 9 years. Yeah, not even a decade. Not too much more.
Ryan, are you actually alive over there? Are you okay?
Is Ryan good? Are you good? We didn't even do like our check-in to see like if people okay, because like that is a good question. Ryan, are you okay?
Ryan, are you good today, bud? You haven't said anything. You've had half your face in the camera.
He looked like he needs.
I'm just checking on you. You good? Some mother's milk.
I'm good.
You good?
Okay, good. There we go. Okay, good. That's all we need to know. Fee's working on that as the bringer upper of things.
Name changes every time.
What's the story about the?
But yeah,
tell us
so
you might
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for this, this is a 3-issue miniseries. The whole thing takes place over one night, and the premise is 4 friends that get back together in their hometown before they can really reminisce or catch up. They're caught in the middle of an undead outbreak. Very early on, they help the guards stave off this outbreak, but one of them is inclined to believe that it has something to do with a local drug addiction issue, this fictional drug known as weave. By the end of the first issue, they begin thinking, well, at the start of the issue, they begin thinking, okay, it has something to do with this, but by the end, there's a curveball, and they don't know if these two dynamics are mutually exclusive or not. So issue number 2 has them going into the HQ of this drugs distributor. So you get to see some cool stuff on the covers that kind of have some foreshadowing of what's happening inside the issue. I'm a very big fan of that. I really liked that. Although it was done to a fault almost too much in like the 60s and the 70s of, and I use this example a lot, why is Spider-Man helping Doc Ock rob this bank? Open the cover and find out. I really like that dynamic. Mine leans that way, but it's more subtle. The 4 friends they're very unique from each other. Victor Medina, who's doing the interiors for issue number 2. 2 compliments I got from him is he really liked working with my script. He felt it was very thorough yet liberal, like a lot of room for interpretation to add his own flair. And the other thing that he really appreciated out of my storytelling is the main characters are all very unique from each other. And he said, I can't compare them to any pre-existing characters. Like if you were to say, you pick any character you really like, let's say the Crow, you could probably summarize it, even though it's not a fair summary, like the Joker meets Nightwing or something to that effect. Victor was telling me my characters, he can't like combine 2 previous characters to like give you some type of sales pitch on it. They're just very much their own thing, which I'm very flattered of. Are you able to play that?
Yep, I was ready when you are. I didn't want to just like.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I tend to ramble, but apparently on these podcasts, that's good.
After Chasgo and myself received a surprise visit from Dunnan and Madrakas, we were able to help the local guards stave off the beginnings of an undead outbreak. I recognize one of the fallen creatures to be an addict to the local drug, Weave. After following a lead, the four of us were able to track down a group of bandits transporting the drug. Fortunately, we were able to control the situation, and Dunnan has a gift with aligning perspectives.
You get to choose which of my friends here you are going to speak to. If not, I'll pick for you.
We had no idea that this was the beginning of a very long night.
Yeah, I like that. I like the different. I like the different styles of the characters.
Thanks, man.
It feels like a D&D campaign.
It does.
It definitely does. It's based off of the first homebrew campaign I ran the better part of 15 years ago. The whole theme of this book, every human being, by the time they hit a certain age, they don't get to see their friends as much as they used to. And the older you get, the chances you get to see your friends, it gets further and further apart. So the times you do, even if it's like 5, there's Victor there saying hi on, it looks like YouTube. Yeah. Anytime you get to see your friends, even if it's just this fraction of time, you're passing by and going to a different city or something, your inner child is like refreshed. Like I really needed that, and I didn't realize I needed that. This 3-issue miniseries is an homage to that level, that caliber of camaraderie. And this is a really good example of where this story goes. It's the equivalent to assuming all the characters live, reminiscing later and saying, hey, remember that time with the outbreak that we helped out? You see these people, you could tell how they work well with each other, how they rub each other the wrong way. There's a lot of cool dynamics going on there. You're going through all the covers there. Each cup, there's the main cover, which is no, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm very reactive. No, you go ahead. There, let's go to that main one there. So that's Kenny Calderon's inks, Dan Kemp's colors. Great teamwork. They did a very good job working together. All 4 characters. The little guy up front is actually a half dwarf. His mother is a gnome. Full-blooded dwarf. There's a blue-skinned elf called an Arger who, exposed to a lot of silver, gives them that blue effect. Humans get that in real life too. If they eat a lot of silver, it tattoos their skin cells. And then big old Madrakas in the back, who's actually a descendant of something known as the Great Stormworm, which is essentially a large kaiju-like electric eel that lives out in the ocean. He can store up lightning in his gizzard and vomit it out, as you sort of see in the trailer a little bit.
Yeah.
All the variant covers, I have one of each character.
All unique looks. Like they all look kind of like they're from different like worlds in a way.
There's definitely different cultural influences on each one of them.
Yeah.
This first variant cover of Chasgo, that's his pet. It's a 3-eyed albino raven named Emix. The first time you see this pet is in issue 2 here, so I wanted to cover that debuted that pet. That was done by Jay Sloan, and that was colored by Dan's brother, Dave Kemp. I'm impressed at the inks. We actually have a stretch goal that unlocked the black and white pinup of this. That was the last stretch goal, yes. Dave, I didn't give him much color to work with, and he still knocked the thing out of the park. Like I'm very impressed, very happy with the end results. A lot of people wanted this one to be metal foil, and the reason I didn't go with that is because I have another metal foil cover, but for a compromise, there's an add-on where you can get that image with that color without the logo. Metal foil is a pinup, and I think it looks really, really good. I'm looking forward to seeing it in person.
Yeah, those colors will pop with the metal for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I was about to say that it would pop really well.
This one here is done by Russ Leach out in the UK. That's done in Eni, the half dwarf. He has an arcane. Go ahead.
Peppers are fire.
Sorry. Yeah, so that's okay. He has a Dave Kemp colored this one as well, and like you're saying, like, yeah, fire is almost an understatement. Like, I'm just very satisfied. Like, it doesn't matter the quality of the talent, but how it works well with others when you start doing collaborations. And I've got these right combinations of talent that seem to really make these images pop. So this little half dwarf, he has an arcane influence over metal and crystalline structures. And he doesn't know where he gets this. He feels because his mom, who's a gnome, she can do similar things with nature. He thinks his muddled bloodline allows him to do that on metal and stuff like that. One of his coolest contraptions, as you can see, is this. He rigged up this telescope to blast raw magic out of it. So that's what you're seeing there, that thing blasting off over his shoulder. Another cool thing about this image, it's almost like a Where's Waldo. After you find Waldo, you start looking at all the other pieces of the picture. That telescope blasting off, it actually takes attention away from the fact that there's a zombie getting his jaw taken off by that hammer, and the jaw is completely separating off of the face.
It looks like Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Well, it's just a standard smithing hammer, but that would be really cool if it was Mjolnir. That would.
I was
really
like,
neat.
whoa.
But that's definitely a nice hit on a rotten corpse there. Russ Leach and Dave, rather, in this case, they did a great job. I like how they draw the eye to the center, and then Dave amplified that by putting good, solid, vibrant colors rather on the main character, and the rest downplayed to a healthy level. You're looking at the middle guy. It's just a really impressive combination of talent.
Really makes him pop.
Agreed.
For sure.
The next one, there's Madrakis there. So Rod Ramos Rodolfo from BC. Canadians talking Canadian talk here. Apologies. Brazil is what I'm trying to say. He did the line art of Madrakis here, and Dan Kemp colored this one up. I keep saying the Kemp brothers. Dan alone, he's colored over 100 issues of Spawn, so basically 50 to 150. So like real like founding statement of issues of that franchise essentially. But here we have Madrakis using his arcane abilities to actually pull Earth upward without touching it, which actually happens in the comic. I gave a piece of the script to Rod to draw this, and I said, just draw Madrakis and what he's doing. Don't draw anything else happening around him. And this was his interpretation of it. And I'm very happy with how it looks. Another cool thing about Madrakis is, although he's over 6.5 feet tall and he surpasses 350 pounds in body weight, the most dangerous thing about him is actually his brain. So he's an amateur mage. He hasn't had the opportunity to actually really study in the craft. With that said, you would think he's like a fighter or something, but his armor is actually just ceremonial. He doesn't know too much about his kind. He was raised by humans. And this ceremonial armor he wears is one of the few things, anything he can find out about his people, he really takes personal and tries to reflect it. And if you looked at him, you think he's some type of a soldier or a mercenary, but in reality, he can swing a sword really hard. But he's not skilled. He can swing hard, not well. He wouldn't understand things like proper footing or how to block or parry per se. But he definitely looks intimidating when you look at him. But the real scary stuff, in issue number 1, for example, the zombie jumps at him from around the corner. He catches it by the throat and then just proceeds to like set its head on fire and cast it aside. So he's got some cool little secrets that I'm really looking forward to debuting. This cover showing one of a few of them. So yeah, he did a really, really good job. And the last one, as I was mentioning, this is drawn by Jenna Stark, colored by Dave Kemp. This one's metal foil, and I wanted this one to be metal foil to really amplify that stained glass effect. I am really looking forward.
That is really cool.
Now, on top of it, this is actually a really critical moment. I'm going to tell you some cool stuff about Sarlacc. Now, Sarlacc, Swamp Treasure is his last name. His people left the mining life and decided to start tilling the earth. Like, they're farmers, essentially, but dwarves being stubborn dwarves, they decided to start farming in a swamp. And so over generations, they're able to drain it and terraform it to how they want and grow crops. But also, being a fantasy setting, you can understand swamps being somewhat dangerous, for lack of better wording. So culturally, his people are really good at tracking down and pacifying things that go bump in the night. He worships something known only as the divine, and he's very devout towards his belief system. He is not one to force his beliefs down anybody's throat, but of a certain age, he felt compelled to move into Ivywood, and he built a humble church. And again, not to like thump his beliefs on anybody or anything, but he just wants to be a beacon of hope, if you will, or help out those less fortunate than him. A really neat thing about him living in this human town with a few orcs in it is he's really good at having his ear to the ground, so he's able to help inside and outside of the city. Again, I've already mentioned the misfortune or those less fortunate than him. But if there's caravans that aren't making it to the city, he can go out and investigate as well. He doesn't put a lot of attention or glorification on himself. So something like the stained glass window, he would not be interested in at all. And I thought it was very fitting because it shows kind of a couple of different things. Of course, it has a very religious look to it, but it also shows him in his equipment. Yeah, and it shows him in like his monster hunting gear. He has a golden axe and a crossbow and stuff. He's a really neat, very balanced, put together individual, but at the same time, he's very unique from the others. He would be the most socially contempt with himself. And all four characters, they all have, although they're all expressed differently, they all have the same theme of who am I and how do I fit in the world. But Sarlacc is a really, really neat character. I'm really looking forward to all four of them as we get to issue 3. You have to do the balance of telling this new story, making sure you've got cool stuff going on, and make sure everybody's learning stuff as the characters as it progresses. And so far, so good. It's been a really great time. Victor Medina, who already said,
that covers.
What's that?
That covers them.
Thank you. Thanks, man. I'm really happy. Jenna and Dave did a great, like all those covers. The teamwork was just amazing. I'm really happy with who I picked. Victor Medina did the interiors here, and that's also colored by Dan Kemp. If it feels very 90s, well, Dan Kemp colored a lot of the 90s Spawn, so you might get a little bit of that feel, and I'm all there for it, you know. As I mentioned at the end of issue 1, as you saw in the trailer, they're actually pressing some bandits for some information about this fictional drug. So you see, here we have page 1 and 2. I'm not showing a lot of action, and the reason for that is it actually has a lot of heavy spoilers. There was no way to show anything without giving away too much. But one thing I could show is on page 7, as you can see here. Here's Chazgo in the middle. He's actually looking through the eyes of his pet as it surveys the compound they're about to infiltrate. So that bird and Chazgo have a lot of really cool dynamics amongst them. It's torture not being able to talk about the cool stuff, but hopefully I'm selling it enough for people.
I like this page, though. The way it was executed is really nice.
You're selling it. You got a backer, so you're selling it.
Thanks, man.
I love this page. This page is really nice.
Yeah. And the lettering on there, Chazgo, I wanted his appearance. It comes across as very sinister. He's actually referred to as a good-hearted charlatan, one of a textbook case, if you will, I guess pun intended, of not reading a book by or judging a book by its cover. But even his speech, the colors are inverted. It's supposed to not feel natural, and his people are very vilified. So he actually uses magic to disguise himself as a human. And I think everybody can relate to that in one form or another. You don't wear your entire life on your sleeve. And when you get to know people, you start telling more deeper details about yourself. And I think everybody can relate in one form or another about that. We've got all the add-ons in the tiers are things I think is cool. I didn't try to get fluff pieces or things that might sell more. Unfortunately, folks, you won't see any NSFW, and that's not me bashing it. That's just not my thing. But we've got, I was going to say hardcovers. We've got physical copies of issue 1, only the main cover, which is drawn by Jimbo Salgado. If you scroll down just a bit there, yeah, that one there by Jimbo Salgado. On the left is Kenny Calderon for issue 2. As I already mentioned, the metal foil, it makes sense. It's going to cost more because of the manufacturing demand on that. We have t-shirts that have artwork from both issues 1 and 2. Anybody who likes to play Dungeons and Dragons, this is Michael Towson, what you can see here. He is a professional dungeon master. He's also a voice actor who's voiced for William Shatner, Disney, and various others. I've played for this guy 3 times now. It is an amazing time. All the money that goes towards that tier goes straight to him. It doesn't go to me. I mean, it goes through Kickstarter to me, but I give it to him. I don't make any money on that tier. I just like playing D&D, and I like this guy getting some recognition because he definitely deserves it. He does this. It's his full-time job, and he's really good. Anybody who's ever wanted to play D&D before, he will get you in full swing within 15 minutes, and you will have a great time. It's really, really good.
That's awesome.
All of the tiers underneath, there is there you can get some of them in, like, if you want more than one cover, there's some options, or all 5 covers. My eyes. So there's the enthusiast tier. There's some t-shirt options. You can get one of the 4 covers that's non-metal foil, and one of these 4 t-shirts. You can pick the size, the color, and the artwork, which it'll show a bit better later on, further down on here. Here we have, that is all 5. I call it a quintet of covers. Underneath that is the Fireside combo. The Fireside, you get 1 issue, or one of those 4 covers. You get 1 what we're calling plush tapestries. It's actually just blankets, but the artwork looks worthy of something you would hang on a wall. I'll talk a little bit about that as we get later on, because there's some cool stories about those artists on the t-shirts and the blankets. There's the ultimate tier. Somebody's already backed that, and I'm flattered. There's everything from, like, a map of where the area takes place. There's well, we actually see them down here. There's the map. Sean Langley art. I actually have the inks to that hanging on my office at home, colored by Dan Kemp, of course. Underneath that, of course, we have a physical copy of issue 1 of the Madcaps. There's the black and white. If you like the color and want to see what it looks like without the cover, it's only $5 more. Of course, there's the metal foil poster underneath that without the logo, so you can see the art just for what it is. There's a set of bookmarks. There is character sheets underneath that for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Each character is loosely translated to D&D, and they're all level 5 characters. There's the 4 different options for the t-shirts I was mentioning. Actually, the top right of those 4 there, are you able to zoom in at all? It's the only piece of art of the t-shirts I haven't talked. So that's one of the variant covers to issue number 1. That's Sarlacc holding the head of a creature he's slain. That's actually drawn by Javier Salteras. He is the fella who drew the first year of Volume 2 of Ghost Rider when Dan Ketch took over as the writer. And Dan Kemp colored it. So a really cool thought behind this. Those 2 have never collaborated, but Dan Kemp, who's colored 100 issues of a Hellspawn, an Image, and then Harv Salteras, who's drawn Marvel's equivalent of a Hellspawn, and I got them to combine their talents for something that was going on in my head. And that's just a really cool satisfaction for me. Harv's artwork was one of the, that series of Ghost Rider was one of the first series I attempted to collect everything of. And so that was a really cool, like, to get somebody who's had that passive influence on my childhood, it was really, really cool to, it was a bucket list option that I didn't realize I had. Like, I put it in the bucket and it was already crossed off. Underneath that, there is the this is we're calling the plush tapestry, of course. They're blankets. You've seen the Sean Langley art, and you've seen the Jenna Stark art on the bottom left, which is the stained glass. On the bottom right, that's also done by Jenna Stark. That was digital. It was made to look like, give it a painterly look. That was one of the variant covers to issue 1. And that's done in using his telescope for the first time. It's hard to see in that image, but the tree up front, it's just a stump. And he's kind of looking out of his goggles like, I can't believe that worked and I didn't die. But that center image of Madrakis, that is hand-painted by a man named John Zalesnik. And if anybody's ever played Nintendo back in the day, John Zalesnik painted the cartridge art for Shinobi, for the original NES system. He's also done a bunch for Magic the Gathering, Warhammer 40K, and it's almost being sent to me, we'll put it that way. So it was really flattering to another person who had passive influence on my childhood and they made something that was going on in my head and made it a thing for everybody to see. It's like the equivalent of like having like Kurt Cobain or Elvis Presley perform a song that you've written. It's just a really cool feeling. The stretch goals that are mentioned underneath, we've unlocked 2. The first one's very humble. It's just a die cut corner sticker. If you go down a bit more, we actually have visuals of it. There we go there. So that's just based off of the main cover for issue 2. And then we've also unlocked, as I mentioned earlier, just the black and white image of Jay Sloan's ink for Chasgo. That's a pinup. It's comic size. So you get that for free. We have we've got one more that's hidden, but if we get our final stretch goal, we're going to have one of the covers for issue number 3 at the back of issue number 2 as a preview. So if you guys, we've got like just over 5 days to go, and I'm very ambitious. I really want to give you this extra stuff. It costs me money, but it doesn't cost you anymore if you've already backed it. If you guys are watching, and if you like anything in regards to fantasy, if you just want a new comic that you don't have to know 60 years worth of lore, it's just beginning, middle, end, all 3 issues. If you like, if you miss your friends, you will relate to just watching these 4 interact as they go through this. It's almost like, we'll call it an adult version of Scooby-Doo minus the dog in a medieval fantasy theme. But shout out to all the talent, so myself, but more importantly, everybody else. Victor Medina, as I mentioned, Dan Kemp coloring, Micah Myers on the letters. All these fellas are, Dan and Micah are Ringo nominees, and Phil Russert of Philbo Publishing. He's done a lot for me, and I very much appreciate that. You should go check out. He has something out right now called Papa. I'll just say 2 sentences about that, just because he definitely deserves it for what he's done for me. Imagine Clint Eastwood in the movie Gran Torino. Take that character and put him in the movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. It's basically an old man versus the mafia. By the end of issue number 1, there's a huge cliffhanger, and it completely changes your view on the entire thing. And it's 5 issues. I've read the script for all of it. By the time you're done issue 1, you're going to be saying, shut up and take my money. But with that said, issue number 3, as soon as 2 is done, we're going to be shipping out. We're close to finishing all the pages with coloring and lettering. And I'm going to get right into 3. I'm really looking forward to finally being able to talk about this story, as opposed to always saying to myself, I'm not giving too much away. I didn't spoil. I didn't say that. But guarantee you it's one heck of a good time. Another cool thing is I've been getting a lot of repeat readers. So people that back the first one, they're backing this one. And it isn't just like the digital PDF, like a bare minimum. They're actually, I like this, and it's just a really cool feeling. It's my first time being on the creative side of a comic book, and it's been a really, really overwhelmingly positive experience for sure.
Nice.
It's really nice when people come back, and I was really good on my last campaign that I recognize names that have been coming back book after book after book for like 16 books now, that keep coming back because they dig what I'm doing. And that's really cool, especially people I don't know in real life. Like if Tony backs it, Tony's my buddy. We're friends.
Somebody backed it. Wow.
But people that I've never talked to, never met, that keep coming back book after book, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, our buddy,
it's a cool feeling.
Brad Horton just got in there and backed it. Brad watching the shows, got in there, he said he backed and shared.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
I'd like to see that 58 jump up to 60 for real while we're on the show. That'd be a good goal to hit. Maybe 2 backers, even if you can just share $1, man. Do what you can do, you know. So hit that link, share. I would say this was. And I'm gonna say, as far as like you representing and laying it out, you laid it out for us.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you.
You presented that well.
Very, very well.
I like the dynamic of it. I like the way that I like fantasy stories where, you know, like again, I said this with InroQuest. I'm a sucker for maps, dog. You put a map in there of a fantasy world, I just dig it.
It's done. And you had a map. You had a map.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for the maps, and I like how it feels like it's set in like the fantasy world, like Lord of the Rings, but it's also got space elements. So it's just like a lot of crazy
And
fun.
at its core, it's a mystery. Like they're figuring out what's going on. The story could just as easily be taking place in the 60s or the future or wherever. You know, they're trying to figure out what's going on in this town, and it's a bunch of old friends getting together and trying to figure it out and fighting and fussing along the way, and just the kind of stuff that like brothers do after a while and get on each other's nerves and stuff. And that's what I really enjoyed about issue 1.
I would love the integration of it is so nice, especially considering you have the experience to enjoy D&D, and you give the flowers to him and how you can actually get someone immersed in that experience. So I think that's really cool. I've never seen that before. So kudos on that.
Thank you.
I wanted to say that part really quick because I know I have another event. So I'll make sure I was like, I want to give you credit and just say wonderful work, beautiful all around. I want to say definitely hit that very last stretch goal. But I will see
you. You gotta go. Bye, Fee.
Bye, Fee.
Nice to meet you.
Bye, Fee.
Pleasure to meet you. Best of luck on that last stretch goal.
Yes.
Thank you kindly.
Let's hit that last stretch goal. Yeah, man. I love how like you're on issue 2 of a 3-part series, but like it's just so in depth, right? Like you can tell that you've put a lot of work into the characters, their background, just little things in their personality. And it's like so much for like a 3-page
issue arc.
Yeah, sorry, I'm rumbling on.
All good, man.
Brain's not braining.
Man, my brain is not braining. Like I said,
it got to the end of the work week, man.
Long week, buddy.
But yeah, it's I love the attention to detail. And I love that you're just so fluid in like explaining it. We've had a lot of guests on the show, and sometimes it's not always. It's harder to explain your own project to people than some people think. And the way you laid it out, like this bad boy in and out. So I definitely feel very informed about what the story is.
Right on, man. It's one thing I very, very much like doing. As I mentioned, it was based off of a homebrew that I ran. The main difference is I took the characters out that the players were playing as. I injected my own characters, and I actually based that off of people. Nice. So I actually found it very easy to add depth to the characters, because all I really did at the core was exaggerate both the strengths and the weaknesses of these individuals. And it in a lot of ways, it just melted together. I don't know how else to explain, and I'm very flattered that people, like you said, it doesn't feel like I'm very much in depth, but I think it's because it's been a part of me for, like, I'm just over 40 now. It's been part of me for over a quarter of my life. So it feels like Tuesday. But when I tell somebody else, they're kind of, wow, you're saying a lot. Well, am I? It's hard to tell from my perspective. So it's really nice to hear that feedback.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's the hard thing with the story. You got the whole thing in your head, trying to figure out how much are we going to tell and how much are we going to have to leave on the cutting room floor. It could be tough.
Yes. Yeah, it's
let's get that last stretch goal fun. That's what I'd like to see. I want to see that hit for sure. Get 2 more backers in there.
I want to see those blankets, man. That's a neat idea. I haven't thought about doing that. Now I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, do I have time, space, and energy to add that to my campaign?
Unfortunately, I've got to get going because I got to take my kids to gymnastics. But if I could say I could talk forever, as you can tell, I'm kind of a glutton for socializing.
Can't believe it. Not for a second.
Yeah. But I
no, DM Ray, I don't believe you at all.
I'd love to come on again because I just like hanging out with people. And,
I can't say one thing. I bet you're a thorough ass DM. I love playing D&D, and like I can already tell that you are.
D&D is everything.
You know what? In the summertime, I've got to do a prequel to this 3-issue miniseries. So if you want to play, any of you guys, send me a message later, and then I'll follow up with you another time.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be
Cool.
down.
I'm totally in.
Be safe.
Okay. Well, thank you very much again. We will do this again, and I'm just glad this worked out. There's a couple of shuffles here. Let's see if I can find the hang up button.
All right.
Can I hang up?
We
Ah!
appreciate you for joining.
There we go.
You guys
Thanks for coming out.
Hit that
Okay.
link. All right. There you have it. Hey, we didn't even really have to say nothing. Dude laid it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's still on his own thing.
Laid everything out.
Ryan.
Yes, sir.
I do want to hear some of the news though of the week. I'm curious.
Oh, we want some news.
I do. I want to hear the news. There's been a lot going on.
We got about 13 minutes. We get the news.
I'll make it quick. You know, it's been like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been a long week. Very tiring week. Very strenuous week for, I think, everyone. I think today felt like the longest Friday I've ever had in my home. So, yeah, I'm just gonna be real with you. But a lot of news has been going on. You know, I'm gonna talk about successes. There's been a lot of successes happening with entertainment and in pop culture in general. Minecraft is about to breach $1 billion. We are a cusp away from $1 billion.
It's a fun movie, man.
Which would be the most profitable video game movie made.
Yeah.
And it's 2 shies away of being $1 billion movie. So congratulations to everybody involved with that film.
I can say with that movie, like I haven't played the game, so I don't like the lore or anything like that. But I can say as like an adult just taking their child,
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Really entertaining.
It's a fun movie. Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
So I think people, you know, if you're on the fence of going to see it, you got kids, definitely take them to go see it. They probably really enjoy it. My daughter has not stopped singing the Black songs since we went. She is on it all day, every day. She even had the nerve to ask me if I knew who Jack Black was. I'm like,
I met Jack Black in the Never Ending Story 3. That's where I
I'm like, girl, what do you mean? Do I know who Jack Black is? Yeah, but that's good. Kudos to them. I'm glad.
Yeah, they're on a cusp of getting $1 billion. It's crazy to me, but that's good for Warner Brothers. Keeping on the Warner Brothers train, Sinners came out last Friday, and it was the number one movie and box office movie in the whole entire world.
I might go see that tonight. I might go see that tonight.
Another win, Warner Brothers. Another win. I saw it last Friday, me and Derek, and it was an experience. I won't talk about the movie because it's all spoiler territory. Every of that film, every plot point, every story point, every character, all had weight and levity to it. The allegories in the movie is incredible. It's an incredible film. So congratulations to Ryan Coogler and company. Ludwig. The music is unreal in the film. It's an incredible movie. So for me, the success of that film, the success for Ryan Coogler, he has not missed yet. So that's incredible. But the shakeup is his deal in Hollywood right now. So the big thing with Sinners right now is that he made a deal with Warner Brothers. And the deal has shaken up Hollywood for a lot of filmmakers who are because honestly, corporations, you know, are run by studios are run by corporations, and you know, there's always edits, notes, things that go into making a movie, like a studio budget tentpole movie, such as like Marvel. Marvel has a lot of notes when making movies and editing movies because it's just how things are. with Sinners, Ryan Coogler had all creative control. There were no notes in that film. So he cut a deal with Warner Brothers. He also will retain the rights after 25 years to get Sinners back. So he will get Sinners back. So Warner Brothers does not own Sinners. They own it right now, but after 25 years, it goes back to Ryan Coogler. Also, Ryan Coogler will make money every time anybody buys a ticket. He will make 1% of profit every time somebody buys a ticket to go see Sinners. So that's the shakeup right now because, unfortunately, films are not making money. We're doing well. March was one of the most devastating impacts to the cinema or box office in like 25 years. Snow White underperformed, made no money. Captain America, Brave New World underperformed, barely made any money. So it was a very devastating February and March for cinema. So what I think the industry is doing is cutting deals with auteurs, filmmakers who have good scripts, good visions, good everything. So we probably won't see the last of this. So like with Christopher Nolan, anybody like Wes Anderson, Tim Burton, you might be seeing different things from them if they decide to make more movies. So and new deals, to be honest with you. But that's been the shakeup in Hollywood. Nice. Next thing, The Last of Us had a devastating episode 2. If you did not watch it,
I haven't.
Get into it.
But, I haven't watched any of it. I haven't watched any of it.
Oh, well, you'll know. So like, I was like, wow. So I don't know how the season's going to end, but we'll see. That's all I have to say about that. Next
know what
news,
I'm watching after this.
Thunderbolts comes out next Friday.
In
early reaction. Yeah, early reactions have already come out, calling it top tier Marvel, calling it fantastic, calling it something we've been missing, calling it a new breed of Marvel, a new focus in Marvel, and also they call it one of the darkest movies in Marvel. So all early reactions are all positive. So that is good to hear. So I'm sure that's going to be a win for Disney. I will be in the seats seeing Thunderbolts because I love Winter. I love Red Guardian. I love
Red Guardian.
Guardian.
I love Florence Pugh. I love the new Black Widow. So I will be in the seats. Yeah. Honorable mention plays Sentry Luke Perlman, whatever his name is, has. They say he steals the show.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely
interested. Sentry, how do you not?
I'm definitely seeing it in theater. I'm excited to see it. I think I'm gonna go see Sinners tonight. Actually, you bringing it up, I was like, you know what? I forgot. I got my mom's keeping the kids for a whole weekend. I was like, what am I gonna do tonight? And I'm like,
you and Leia should go see Sinners then.
That's what we're about to do. I think that's definitely about to happen.
Yeah, you're going to love it, Tony. And call me when you're done.
I will.
Yeah,
it sounds like a plan. Actually, you brought it up. And I'm like, oh yeah,
that's
what we can do tonight because we had not figured out what we were gonna do, and now that's it.
I think y'all definitely go see
screw both y'all. I'm too old to go to the movies after this. My ass be asleep.
Yeah,
I feel it.
But I only have 2 more pieces of news. That's all I got. So, Shadow Drop. If you're an Elder Scrolls fan, if you play video games, if you love the Elder Scrolls series, you love Bethesda, Elder Scrolls Oblivion remastered, re-energized, rebuffed, re-graphicked, re-everything, dropped. It was a shadow drop. Nobody knew it was dropping until somebody discovered it, and it dropped. So Oblivion is out, and it's gorgeous.
Man, look, did you buy it? Did you get it yet or no?
I'm copying it tonight because I never played Oblivion. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. So I put
And they say
hours.
it's the best. It's the best one. So
I've
there's a
dumped
lot of
hours
Morrowind
into
lovers,
Skyrim.
a lot of
So
Skyrim lovers, but a lot of Oblivion. It was like a game changer.
yeah, I seen it today. I was like, yeah, I'm about to copy it.
Yeah, I'm copying it. It's gorgeous. My final piece of news tonight for 5-Star Fridays for this lovely April 25th. Everyone, Star Wars Celebration happened over the past weekend, and it was for me underwhelming. There was we got Ahsoka 2 coming back. Season 2, Ahsoka's coming out next year. I mean, I have a love and hate relationship with season 1. That episode 5 was solid with Anakin coming back to Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That unbelievable transition scene of him being Vader to Anakin will live in my head forever. But I'm not interested, and I don't care if Ahsoka got canceled tomorrow. I wouldn't care. Mandalorian Grogu come out next year. They showed snapshots of Pedro Pascal and looked like a black uniform. He looked like he had a little bit more gray hair. What would be interesting is if Grogu was a little older, just a smidge older. That would be cool to see. I'm not talking like teenager. I'm talking like just like a toddler or a child.
Arrogant toddler would be more interesting.
Would be cool. That would be cut to him. So I hope that's what they're going for. But honestly, it'd be cool if they just wrapped it up in the movie, finish that whole entire thing. And honestly, I'm not interested in Star Wars Starfighter. They brought Ryan Gosling out and Sean Levy making this film. It's called Star Wars Starfighter.
I'm pretty sure we went over all this last week.
Did we?
We went over that part, yeah. They were still making announcements last time.
And we talked about Star Wars Celebration. Then I'm done.
Yeah, we did.
Good.
I don't want to cut you short, but
no, we did. I don't remember.
I'm just ready to catch you off at the knees. That's all.
It's been a long week, Tony. It's been a long week, so I didn't remember that.
Yeah, it has been a long week, but it's nice that it's Friday. I enjoy kicking it with y'all, and but I think that's a wrap. I think we're good for the day. The link, hit the link, go help our dude get to his last stretch goal. We definitely want to see that happen. And other than that, man,
go sign up for the pre-launch page for Alice Lost in Wonderland 2.
Yes,
launches May 6th. Go check it out.
Yeah, he has a Kickstarter jumping off real
and there's
soon.
gonna be cool like D&D size miniatures. These are a little bigger so I can show them on camera. But we got Alice and Big Ten coming. I might even have some more figures made as stretch goals. And we're gonna have a new acrylic figure coming out. So lots of cool stuff. Check it out. Go sign up for the pre-launch page.
Yep, you heard it. Also, you can go to 5starcomiccon.com or our Facebook group, right now. And if you're an artist, you're a crafter, you're exhibitor, we're still taking spots for that. Would love to get some more of my indie peeps in there for sure. So definitely get in there and lock in. If you've already sent your application, good news. We are sending like acceptance letters this weekend. start collecting everybody's payments and whatnot, and just keep it pushing, keeping it moving. Other than that, remember to be a 5-star version of yourself. Keep killing it. Keep grinding. And we'll catch y'all next Friday. Because next Saturday.
What'd you want to say? Because you said something.
Next Saturday's Free Comic Book Day, y'all. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. May the 4th be with you.
Now we're out. See y'all.
Now we're out.